Welcome back to my channel, guys. Okay, guys, so today we'll be learning closed matting design. Okay, this is an example of matting design we taught in the last video, and we'll be using two needles for this particular design. We'll be using two needles in the fishing line. Yeah, if you go back to my last video on bead making, I taught us how to do the matting design. This is our bead which we'll be using, size 6 crystal bead. This is our fishing line, 0.35 mm fishing line, and also we'll be using our beading needle. Yeah, our beading needle. So I will be reminding us on how to do the bead matting, and this is an example of the closed matting design. This is an example. So guys, this is the matting design. So to remind us, we are going to be adding one crystal bead to each side of the fishing line. One crystal bead each to each side of the fishing line. Then we are going to pick another crystal bead and we will be interlocking it. We are going to interlock the crystal bead. This design can also be called interlocking design. Yeah, either you call it matting design or you call it interlocking design. So what we're going to be doing now is we are going to turn. We want to learn how to turn with the matting design. You know, we are supposed to put one on each side of the fishing line, but now we are going to be putting two crystal beads on a particular one of the fishing line, not both sides, just one. And I'll be picking my left hand side. So I put in two crystal beads on my left fishing line, then I will take one more crystal bead and I will interlock with it. Yeah, as you can see, I'm interlocking with it. Then we're going to repeat the same step. It's going to be 2 times. Look at where the fishing line is facing now. The fishing line is facing by the side, and so look at the side that the fishing line is facing. So we are going to be adding two. So we'll be adding two of the crystal beads into the left fishing line. Yeah, we'll add two. Then we're going to pick one more bead and we'll interlock with it. We are gonna interlock the bead. As you can see, the fishing line is now facing downward. It's now downward. Yeah. So the next thing we'll be doing is that we'll be passing the fishing line, which is by the side of the bead, into the next bead. Yeah, you can see me passing the fishing line by the bead side into the next bead. Then for the other side, we'll put in one crystal bead. We insert one crystal bead and we are going to interlock with one. So we'll add one crystal bead into the fishing line. Then we'll pick another one and we are going to interlock it with the other fishing line. So this is how it's looking. Then we'll repeat the same procedure. We'll pass the fishing line into the next line, into the next bead. Then for the other side, we are going to put in one crystal bead and we'll interlock with one crystal bead. And that is what we'll keep on doing till we get to the ending part of the bead before we are going to close the bead. So guys, this is the final look for the bead. This is how it looks when we get to the bottom of the bead. So the next thing we'll be doing is that we'll be passing the fishing line by the left hand side into the next fishing line. As you can see, the fishing line that is by the side of the bead, we'll be passing it into the next bead. Yeah, then we'll start closing up the matting. We are going to pick one crystal bead and we'll interlock with that crystal bead. That's the starting point of the closed matting. So I put in one bead and I'm gonna interlock with it. So as you can see, this is how it's looking. Then the next thing is to pass both fishing lines upward into the next bead. That is, we're going to be passing our fishing line up. I'm using my right hand fishing line to pass into the next bead upward. Then I also do the same thing for the left hand side. Then when we are done with that, we're going to pick one crystal bead and we interlock with it. So we are locking up the design. We'll pick one crystal bead, then we interlock with it. Then we repeat the same procedure till we get to the end. And while doing it, we are making sure that it's tight. While doing it, you are making sure it's not too loose. So we'll be passing. Okay, this is an example of how it should look like. Yeah, so we are right on track. So I'll be passing in the fishing line into the next one till we get to the ending part. So guys, this is how the interlocking design is. This is the finished product of the interlocking design. Look at an example of the interlocking design. This is the one I made and I put in a brush just to beautify it, but you can style it the way you want. You can also make it 2 steps if you desire. Thank you for watching my video. Please like